This episode is sponsored by one of my favorite energy drinks. Can't really show you what it is. Can't tell you what it is. For all we know, it is beer. Here we go. That was horrible. Ash, you're not using that. So here's 4 questions that everybody keeps asking me. How has appreciation been over the last 5 years? Is this a good time to negotiate on list prices? When issues arise at home inspections, how do you handle it? Is it the seller's responsibility or is it the buyer's responsibility? Is selling privately the best way to make the most money? What's up, everybody? My name is Rene, and I run a real estate team here in Oakville, Burlington. And we're going to get into all the real estate information, stats, tips, and tricks. But before we do that, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up if you like this. Also, if you want to see more of this content and you enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe. And lastly, if there's something in the video that you don't agree with or you like, or you just got a question, don't forget to click the link in the description. And I'd love to book a one-to-one with you, talk about anything and everything real estate. So here we go. How has the appreciation been over the last 5 years specifically? And when I crunch numbers in Oakville, Burlington, the short answer is amazing. I'm not going to get too much into detail right now because when I go into actually Oakville and Burlington stats, we're going to talk about it more. But here's the thing. If you've lived in your home for at least 5 years, for the most part, on average, you've had about 22 to 48% appreciation. That's amazing. The second question, is it a good time to negotiate out there? Absolutely. I know the interest rates are high, but there is so much inventory out there that we're seeing on average about 4 to 6% negotiation from list price. That's huge. And in some cases, it's even higher. The third question, and I'm dealing with it all the time, is when issues arise at a home inspection, who handles what and what's the best solution? I mean, there's always a few options. It all depends on the closing date and how much time you've got, how handy you are. A lot of times, the best way to do it is have a price reduction that can take care of the issues. And at least that way, you know, you're going to get some money and they're using it towards your trades and you get to do it yourself. The issue sometimes when sellers do it or they say they'll remediate, even if you ask for receipts or you ask for a professional, there's always still issues that it may not be done properly or they use the absolute lowest quote out there. Now, in some cases, this is where the realtors get involved and we really just try to vet the company they're going to use to remediate the problem. And at that point, if we feel it's honestly a great company and there's the warranty in place, then yeah, let the sellers remediate it. Price would have stayed the same in terms of purchase price, but at least the sellers can take the responsibility. And very important, you need to have great clauses in your offer. Talking to your lawyer for that advice is huge. Sometimes, or in some scenarios, like we see where the work's just not done properly, in a week or two before closing, the lawyers will get involved. This one's funny. I mean, it's a reality, but is selling privately the best way to make the most money? So I come across this quite a bit, and I feel that it really depends. What I do with certain potential clients that say to me, hey, Rene, I got a potential offer from someone. What do you think? Should I accept it? And this is off market, right? My honest advice is if you are getting a fair market value or higher, I say, yeah, private deals they're okay. You will save some money, but everything has to line up. So you still need to talk to a good real estate agent who's going to give you that awesome advice, because for a homeowner to determine what market value is, I don't think they're going to get the best number. We do honestly say to clients, if you're going to get a private sale going, we're okay with it. We will guide you through it. We'll connect you with great lawyers to take care of everything. But in some scenarios, what we also notice is there's people that are being taken advantage of. The offers that are coming in are horrific. They're low. They'll use tactics like, hey, you don't have to pay a real estate agent. But here's the thing. If you take, the 4.5% or 5% or whatever the chunk of commission is, and you do the math, when we put it on the market and we are fighting to get you the highest price possible, we can offset that in most of the situations. And we will do everything we can to make sure that you are going to benefit from that. Now, let's get into some of the stats. So July was interesting. I know it's summertime. A lot of people are probably not even watching this video, which is okay. But hopefully you'll eventually find it and you're going to get ready for the fall, because I feel fall is going to be great. Let's just talk about Oakville right now in terms of where is Oakville versus 2023? And we're looking at July versus July of last year. So the detached market is actually down 6%. So homes are averaging around 1.884. Townhouses are down 6%. and hovering around 950. Condos are down 3% and hovering around 635,000. So this is July to July. Burlington, it's actually doing a little better. When we compare detached homes, you're around 1.489, and it's actually up 2% versus the previous year. So that's great. It's nice to see that it's going up. Townhouses are down about 5%, so it's around 820,000. And condos are up 6%, which is great, hovering around 656,000. So that's comparing July versus last July. Now, for the second part of this, I always love to compare how have the last 12 months been. To me, that's really a nice indication of how the market has been going, and it gathers more information. So the numbers are definitely different here. Good news for Oakville is that when we look at the detached market, it's only down about 1%, which is around 1,875,000. If we look at townhouses, it's down 3%, which is around 1,012,000. If we look at condos, it's down about 5%, and it's around 655,000. When we look at Burlington, this is awesome. It's green all around. So the detached market is actually up 2%, so it's just over 1.4 million, hovering at literally 1,416. The townhouse market is up 2%, which is around 859,000. And the condo market is up 1%, which is around 624,000. So Burlington is up all around versus last year, and it's trending in the right direction. One thing I always like to mention in this part of the stats too is that when we look at how sales were in the hype of the market a few years back in like 2021 and 2022, like we're down versus the hype of the market about 48% in Oakville and about 43% in Burlington. That's a lot of sales that were down. Now, let's talk about new listings, because new listings has been an issue over the last 6 months. We've seen tons of inventory come out every month. So if we look at this time versus last year, we are up 25% in Oakville and we're up 17% in Burlington. And that directly relates to inventory. So when we look at inventory versus last year, we are way, way higher. In Oakville, we are up 64%. And in Burlington, we're up 63%. So the crazy thing with all of this is that sales are also down. Luckily, in Oakville, it's not down as much versus last year, but it is down 5%. And in Burlington, it's down 18%. Now, these numbers have gotten a little better over the last few months. Thank goodness we're seeing a little bit more sales happening. Now, with all of this inventory, it obviously impacts how long it takes for a home to sell. So in terms of days on market in Oakville, it's high. Like on average, it's 30 days, but there's some homes that are taking 60, 90, 100 days. So this is just a huge average of everything. But it's up 36% versus last year. And Burlington is up 35% versus last year, which is around 27 days. But same thing. There's some homes that are taking like 60, 80, 90, 100 days. Months of inventory is still very heavy. In Oakville, it's 4.4. Which is up 76% versus last year. And in Burlington, it's 3.7 months of inventory, which is up 85%. So that's really high. And I feel that we need to be around like 2.5 to 3 months in this kind of a market because interest rates are high, buyers are not out there as much, and there's so much confidence that's just not there. Hopefully that all makes sense. What is very interesting here in this part of the video is over the last year or two, I've been talking about the last 3 years of how appreciation has been going. Appreciation over the last 3 years is now starting to get a little bit low. And I feel like if you have bought a home in the last 3 years, you probably bought in the peak of the market, which wasn't ideal. So I'm going to compare over the last 5 years because I feel that talking about the last 5 years is very good. I'm going to share some awesome numbers. If you were curious about how the appreciation has done over the last 5 years. In Oakville, detached homes are up 40% versus 2019. Or since 2019, and that's huge. Townhouses are up 38% and condos are up 22%. Solid numbers. In Burlington, if you've owned a home since 2019, on average, the market is up 48% for detached homes. That is absolutely nuts. Townhouses are up 48% and condos are up 36%. So these are very positive numbers. If you want to know more about like how's my home doing in the last year or two. We'd love to book a meeting and a one-to-one and go over that. But generally speaking, that is how the market has been in Oakville and Burlington since 2019. Hope all of this makes sense. I know what you're probably thinking about the summertime and you're probably on vacation, which is all good. But when you are on vacation and you're really craving some stats and some expert advice, this video you got to watch. So here's my final thoughts. I love to use this analogy a lot, but is the glass half empty? Is it half full? This is the kind of market that we're in. And I say this because it's all about the perspective. There's so many things that have happened in the last few years, and I feel that there's a lot of people that are still thinking about the 2021, 2022 market, and they can't stop thinking about it. But here's the thing. You got to move on. You got to forget about that market. We have to look at what's happening right now, and you got to look at how are we trending. We are actually trending very interesting, and I'm just going to mention a couple numbers here. But like in Oakville, I remember when we were looking at the peak of the market and then compared it to how it was going down, people were panicking because values were down about 25%. Well, right now, when we compare to the peak, the values are only down about, call it 4 to 8%, which is huge compared to the peak. And in Burlington, it's only down about 7 to 9%. So when you look at the perspective and you look at where we're trending, this is awesome. We've had 2 interest rate drops, and I feel that we're going to need at least another 2 or 3 to really get that confidence back. But I do feel that we're headed in the right direction. I predicted last year that by the fall of this year, we were going to be in a way better situation and values are going to be up. And we are very, very close to getting there, especially in Burlington. So hope this video helps. Have a great summer. Enjoy August. Can't wait to talk about how August performs. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up or subscribe to our channel. If you do want to get more real estate insight and if there's something that you want to go over, please click the link in the description, book a one-to-one, and I'd love to go over everything and anything real estate. Thanks for watching. We live here and so should you.